Hi, this is Scala, an ultralight two-liner designed for hike-and-fly competitions and introduced more or less for X-Alps 2021. However, as other wings in this class, it ended up actually being a popular all-rounder for ambitious cross-country pilots who enjoy flying two-liners while not necessarily willing to jump into a CCC flagship or wings like Xeno, or willing to just benefit from the lower weight and smaller sizes. I've been flying this wing since the beginning of the season, including Burns to Fly and X-Pyr competitions, and I've tested it with both Ozone F-Race and Skywalk Range X-Alps, which are probably the most popular choices of this class. Previously, I've flown Xeno GT for 2 seasons and I've tested Omega X-Alps 3, so I believe that gives me quite a fair comparison. All the opinions in this video are mine. They are probably biased, but at least I wasn't asked to do it or paid to do it. As you can see, Scala has much shorter reinforcements than the competition. This lets you fold it the way you want without being afraid to bend them. Yet, even made fully out of the lightest Skytex, it's still more in the weight range of Zeolite GT that has thicker top sheet than, for example, Zeolite or Climber. At the same time, it's still lighter than, for example, Omega X-Alps or Skywalk X-Alps 5. That pretty much puts it in the middle in terms of the weight. The profile is clean, with small openings and quite aggressive shark nose, which is pretty normal in this class. There's a lot of internal structure, but all as light and as minimal as possible. In general, you can see a lot of precision and a lot of attention to details. The risers are clean and very minimalistic. Speed system has one good quality pulley, however the other one is replaced with a ceramic ring. I had concerns about it at the beginning, but it definitely works smooth and light and I have no issues with that. The brakes are attached with a small velcro, which means they drop easily, but at least it's light and simple. The brakes themselves are very thin, which is probably one of my biggest complaints. I don't find them very comfortable, and when it's cold, they seem to restrict blood flow a bit, so it feels even colder in your hands. Also, they're so light that they can actually twist around your lines when you let them go on transitions, and that becomes a bit of a safety issue. And therefore, I actually considered to replace them. The line set is impressively minimalistic, and besides the reduced drag, you also get lines which are easier to untangle and prepare for the takeoff. The lines are connected with soft links, which is standard now, but they're also nicely covered to not catch the lines. And I really don't understand how my Zeolite doesn't have it, because it works so great. Takeoff is a breeze. The wing is easy to handle, goes up lightly, it barely ever shoots. Anyone with experience with such aspect ratio will find it manageable. However, all A lines are attached together to one soft link, and that means it's hard to pull only the inner ones, which is the method I usually prefer. And therefore, the wing has tendency for a bit of a butterfly start, where the stabilos go first. Surprisingly, this is not an issue at all, and I can barely think of any start that I would fail. And I do takeoffs in the weirdest places and conditions. Still, I don't understand this choice, and if that was to shave weight, I think it just wasn't worth it. I don't believe in any performance comparisons, it's all biased and anecdotal. All the wings in this class are absolutely amazing and in good hands. They're capable of astonishing flights, winning hike-and-fly competitions, and it's been proven again and again. The glide on this wing is surely impressive, both on bar and without, but so is true for Zeolite, Oxa, Climber, Skywalk X-Alps, Xenon, and pretty much anything else in this class. However, the handling is what is different, so let's talk about that. Scala has relatively light and short steering, but I find it slightly less agile than Zeolite, for example. It requires more weight shifting to induce a turn, and with my Skywalk harness, it felt a bit sluggish and slow to respond. At the same time with F-Race, it turns as tight as anything and immediately becomes a wingover machine. So you might want to check it with your current setup, but as well bear in mind that it just takes a bit of time to get used to. I had similar experience with Omega X-Alps 3, and I know that many won't agree, so take it with a pinch of salt. Steering with bees is very effective, and very is probably an understatement. The bees are so light that even resting hands on them is going to slow down the wing by several kilometers on full bar. You either like it or not, but it's actually really impressive. The handles are made of carbon, they are super comfortable and just the right size regardless the gloves you have. Finally, safety. After 3 seasons with Ozone, I constantly felt like Scala is hiding something from me, that it's tricking me and in the least expected moment is going to shoot and surprise me. Yet, it never did. Its passive safety is beyond my imagination. I learned to trust it no matter what, and it really deserved that. To put it in context, I found zeolite really predictable and controllable, but it's also energetic, so you just need to pay attention. With Scala, you get this additional margin that she just really has you covered, even if you don't pay attention. I found the stall point a bit more clear and pronounced and requiring more strength to pass than zeolite or alpina 3, for example. This made me a bit confused and my tries were a bit more messy. I generally find it slightly more technical to do backfly on it, but if you think about it, it makes it actually safer in the wild where you don't want to accidentally spin it. I don't often get collapses and you can really test it on SAV without additional lines, but those I've got were simple to handle and caused no rotation. Crevates obviously happen and being able to deal with them is obligatory for this wing. Now, even though I think it might be the easiest to liner on the market, please bear in mind that it's still a high aspect ratio wing, and work necessary and to understand and manage its span is significantly bigger than most E and B or C wings. It's good to have the margin that Scala gives you when you end up in shitty spots, but it doesn't mean one can count on it to replace experience, SIV practice, or respecting conditions and your skill. Said all that, I have tons of honest respect to the designer of this wing, Hannes, because the performance, stability and safety he achieved, with construction being so minimalistic, is just mind-blowing. It's the impression I've got the first time I removed it from the box and the one that stayed with me until now. In the right hands, Scala can excel at cross-country or lead through hike-and-fly races, all that with good safety margin and tons of fun. Even though I'm not going to claim it's a better or worse compromise than anything else on the market, don't get fooled by its relatively lower popularity. It's at least as capable as any of its competitors. Thanks to everyone for watching and you're more than welcome to check my other videos. Cheers!